today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're taking a look at another Walrus audio pedal. And today we're looking at the Eras Five-State Distortion pedal. And it will make you throw horns because it has horns.
Right. We're going to turn the Tyler JT22 into a rock god. Right. So, have we done any distortion pedals of this? We've done a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done a few of this magnitude. There's one I can think of that was the loudest pedal in the world that we've ever.
Right.
But not a whole lot of these, which is one of the reasons we got in. So the last time we got some Walrus pedals in, we were like, let's pick a few that aren't things we normally do. So that was the flanger video saw a couple weeks ago. Now the distortion, Five-State Distortion. And I think there's no backstory. There's no history. There's just, small bit of history. A while ago on the show, we did a video on the Ages, which was a 5-state overdrive.
Right.
So where that thing leaves off,
yes,
in terms of drive, this picks up in spades.
Right.
So, jumping into it. 6 knobs, pretty much the same layout as the Ages, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it is.
Volume, gain, blend. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Bass, treble, and then our 5 selector switch. And we're going to run through the knobs on one. Then we'll go through each state and maybe twist some knobs while we do that. Let's start where treble. You're in trouble.
Trouble, big trouble. We're starting the state of confusion.
Right. You want to give your reference?
Because if you're going to play a distortion pedal, you might as well play a Telecaster. You have to always help me with this one. This is a
50s hot rod.
It has hot rod in it. It has a mini humbucker in the neck. Through the Tyler JT22 Dispatch Master. I don't know what my own. Are we still flipped to you? Through the magic of the Morley AB box.
No, you were on.
I was on? The tuner was on. We were tuning. We've been accused of not doing that.
Leave it in the comments. Tell them to
tune. Yeah. Who knows? So the Dispatch Master. And a little reverb in there. What was I playing? Oh.
All right, let's turn on, move the treble knob.
All right. Wants to squeal.
Yeah.
She wants to run when the treble gets about 3/4 of the way up.
I was so nervous to turn it up, though, but it didn't kill me.
No. Even when it squealed, it didn't hurt.
Let's go to the other side. Maybe we want to tighten it up, take some bass out.
All right. Wow, that's the first time we had dialed the bass since we've been playing it. That was a very drastic difference.
Right, and I was, again, worried. Telecaster, inherently bright guitar. Moving the treble all the way up and taking the bass all the way down both times, I was a little scared. Let's do the range of the gain knob. So you start playing, we'll take all the gain out and put all the gain in. Just getting a feel here. I like it closer to the middle.
Yeah.
But even all the way down, it's...
Yeah, it had a little sparkle all the way down.
Still a lot of gain. The blend knob.
Yep.
Blend knob's really interesting. If we roll the blend knob all the way back, it's your clean tone. Coming through, it's your guitar signal coming through. Then as we start to move it to the right, it starts to add the distortion. So these two, the distortion and your clean, are running in parallel. So you could go all the way to one or all the way to the other, which is interesting. We'll talk about that more in a second. Really interesting, I think, and I was watching somebody else's video, I forget who said it, but really interesting for bass players. And I thought, oh, yeah, because they can kind of roll that back. So have the distortion there, but let the clean bass tune come through. So let's try that.
Some definition all the way up, all the way completely wet signal, driven signal in this case.
You could hear... I felt like when we went all the way down and started rolling up with what you were playing, you could really hear those clean notes kind of ringing through.
Right.
Still hear the clean blend up until like half, maybe 3/4 of the way, and then it started to like really... The distortion really started to take over. But you could hear them popping through up until then. An interesting thing here. If you put another pedal, I don't know if I'll be able to get this one in a shot, but we've hooked up the Black Fuzz by Greer amps. And so now if you put another drive pedal or another, any distortion, whatever, in front of this, that's actually going to affect your clean signal. So with the blend all the way down, you're going to be hearing that. And then as you roll it up, you're going to have your affected signal, but it's also going to affect the distortion signal. So it's a really... They mentioned this in the manual, and I thought, well, that's a really interesting thing. So just to hear really quick what that sounds like, if I start playing, we click on the Black Fuzz, and then we'll click on the Eras, it really shouldn't change until we start rolling up the blend knob. So, I think it's cool. But you have to wrap your head around with the blend all the way down. It's the clean signal. Once you throw the Black Fuzz on, you're hearing the Black Fuzz. Then when you start rolling the blend up, you're hearing the Black Fuzz and you're hearing the distortion from the Eras, but that distortion being affected by the Black Fuzz. So it opens up, I think, for the tweaker in you.
It does, and for practical use, you may want to set the Eras somewhere where you would use it and then have the Black Fuzz on top. Even though it's first,
yeah, you'd have to for the tweaker in you.
Yes, right.
That's everything. Right. All right, so that's the blend knob. I think for the demo, maybe just kind of running it all the way up, so we're just hearing the pedal. Right. We certainly can move that around. So the only thing that we haven't really done is the volume and the 5-state switch, and so we have the owner's manual here because we're not ashamed to do that. And we are in state number 1 right now, and have been. This is a tight mode with a slight mid-cut, LED hard clipping, internal volume compression, fastest response, great for palm muting. If we flip this to state number 2, this is the tight mode, slight mid-cut, silicone hard clipping, smooth added compression. So we'll let you play that a little bit, and then I'll turn it on. Number 3, dual clipping mode with single mid-cut. No, sorry, slight mid-cut. Both silicone and LED in this one. So both hard clipping, rich and full with added sustain.
And I'm going with loud. Did you switch it?
No.
Big.
What?
It's big.
Number 4. This is a rhythm mode with a deeper mid-cut, LED hard clipping, internal volume compensation, scooped mids, tight response.
I've been playing on the bridge the whole time, by the way. All right, there you go. It was interesting. You could hear the distortion behind it when you were noonish.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear the clean, and then behind it, you heard the...
Right. I mean, it makes a big difference.
It does.
4. 5.
Look at us. How time flies.
Rhythm mode with deeper mid-cut and silicone hard clipping, rhythmic, warm, and fuel.
Fuel.
You really hear where that, when you bring that blend up, I felt like it was on that one, if you go back and look at it, like about there,
right,
is where it just sounded like all the clean went away.
Yeah.
But up until that point, I felt like you could hear it.
Yep, there's still a blend.
Still a blend. Did you want to do either one of those channels with the other guitar?
We could show, I mean, we're not very much, you probably, we'll pop. Yeah, I feel like obligatory drop D hook or something with that 4 or 5.
Maybe I'll go back to 4, and then when you start playing, I'll switch it to 5.
My 95 PRS standard 24 with Dragon pickups. So hot pickups.
And the hot pickups really do make it want to run. And I mean, it's probably the 22 watt amp.
Yeah.
The 22 watt amp being pushed pretty hard too.
All right. Clean tone. Bridge pickup, of course. Blend is all the way down. It's like, wow, it sounds the same. It is really that blend is interesting.
Yeah. Especially when I put it back. You did the octave thing, I think, once after I pulled it back a little bit. You could hear the octaves popping out, but you had that like wall of distortion going.
I apologize. The D might not have been completely in tune because I tuned it, detuned it, retuned it, hit it hard, tried to tune it on the fly.
No matter what you do, it would be out of tune.
If we only had tuner around here.
So.
Well, I just want to try that, even though neither one of us are degenters. We're more degentals. But just so you can hear like what it completely saturated with a bridge pickup on a hot guitar with a drop D.
It's a really cool pedal. Mm-hmm. They're knocking it out of the park. The ages that we did before, that's been on your board for quite a while now. Right. I mean, that was one that came in, went here, did the demo, stuck around, was on a couple videos, and then disappeared one day.
Right.
It's been
never to return.
Over on Pat's board for a long time. So, anything else to add?
I don't think so. Like you said, a very flexible pedal, 5 states, the blend knob. It's very shapeable. If you can't sculpt something with that in the distortion, even heavy overdrive world, you're probably not going to find it.
Right. It'd be a pretty heavy overdrive.
Yeah.
But definitely in that distortion, like...
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, that Tyler is growling tonight.
Tyler's like, do you boys ever play jazz at all? Got a couple of box guitars over there.
All right. So with that, hey, everybody, thanks for watching, and subscribing, clicking the notification bell, like button. Anything you do to interact with the show really helps us out, helps us keep doing this, and we really enjoy bringing the gear in and sharing it with you. So I think with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear. No more drop D for you. We got something better.